Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our coaching, publishing, executive ghostwriting, and podcast production services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. And today, we're being joined by Darnell Weathersby, author of Journey to Fatherhood. Darnell, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Paul.
Well, we are thrilled to have you. Are you ready to begin?
Yes, I am.
All right. Question number one. What is the one piece of advice that you would give to a first-time author who is currently writing their book?
I would say just give yourself time. So many times everyone wants to reach the end result. I want to publish this book. I want to publish this manuscript. But a lot of times you just have to give ourselves the time and availability to get our thoughts on paper, to whether we section off time in the evenings or in the morning, whenever the thoughts are flowing best. Give yourself a fighting chance to put forth the best energy and the best thought process available so that you can show the world what you have to offer. So a lot of times just giving yourself time to let the passion come out.
And what do you feel is the hardest part about getting published?
I think a lot of times it's the match between the writer and the publishing company. In this business that I've been in for the last, 5 to 10 years, it's all about, you can have the best kept secret, the best kept concept or idea or theme, but if nobody knows about your book or your material, it's kind of hard to impact lives. So I think being able to find a publishing company that believes in your vision, believes in your goal, and then as a result is willing to put the manpower and potentially the resources behind you necessary to make sure as many people as possible can understand your passion and your vision. So just finding the right match, not going with the first publishing company, but finding the publishing company that matches your heart and your passion.
Well, let's talk about marketing. So please share a marketing strategy that you have used in your book launch that has worked well.
So one thing I did that was pretty unique. So my book, Journey to Fatherhood, basically chronicles my 9-month journey to preparing for my first child. I'm a single parent product, and my goal was to be the father I never had, to prepare in a manner that my child would experience having a father in a better light than I experienced. So with that being the backdrop, I've been able to partner with local clinics and local hospitals, and my goal in the upcoming future is to be able to be one of the participants when husbands and wives go to parenting classes, trying to partner with hospitals and local clinics to say, can Journey to Fatherhood be one of the many resources that are given to first-time dads as they're preparing for their journey to fatherhood? So just trying to be very strategic to get the book and the resource in the hands of men when they're actually navigating that stage of life. So that's kind of the concept I've been trying to capitalize upon over the last year in particular.
Oh, that's a great strategy. One of our clients who is a fertility coach, she's actually doing that right now, where she's partnering with different clinics and then offering to do a complimentary webinar to their clients and connecting that way. And also, of course, wrapping that around the fact that she has the book based on the subject. I mean, it's one of the biggest advantages of having your own book is that course to entryway, because it really does open a lot of doors where you can take that as a leverage piece and partner up with these different hospitals and these different companies, just depending on what your target market is.
Agreed. Yes.
Well, speaking of books, I'd like to know what is your favorite book and what was the number one thing that you learned from it?
Right. So being a Christian, one of my favorite books is called Kingdom Man by Tony Evans. And just he has this phrase where he says, if you want a better world, then you need a better country. And if you want a better country, then you need a better state. And if you want a better state, then you need a better county. If you want a better county, then you need a better community. If you want a better community, then you need a better neighborhood. If you want a better neighborhood, then you need stronger families. And if you want stronger families, you need stronger men. So in my mindset, when we allow men to be responsible and assume their rightful place in society, being in a position where they can empower their community and all those within their sphere of influence, the world is a better place when we lead appropriately. And therefore, that's one of my favorite books, given that concept.
And for a final question, what is your favorite quote and why? So, as an educator, I always believe in the quote, people can care less how much you know until they know how much you care. Being an educator of over 17 years, my daily job is to impact the next generation of leaders and to give them the skill set that they need to be successful in the future. But a large part of that is making sure they know that I care about them holistically and not just academically, but I care about their whole person. So that's a very powerful quote to me that I try to live out each and every day. I couldn't agree more. I was a teacher for 9 years, and the greatest connection I had with my kids was the fact that I cared about them. I was strict, but I was very consistent, and I was fair with them. But the biggest thing was making that connection, because all these schools, they talk about test scores and results and all that, but you cannot get those results if those kids are not bought in to what you're doing.
Agreed.
And that's the most critical thing, and it's probably the greatest lesson I learned when I was a teacher.
Yes, agreed.
Well, Darnell, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. What is the best way for people to find you online?
So you can always go to our website, thelead1movement.com, all one word. You can follow us on social media at Lead1LLC. You can check out our YouTube channel, The Lead One Movement, and just continue our goal is to inspire leaders to maximize their sphere of influence wherever that might be. And I thank you again for this opportunity, Paul, to communicate that message.
Well, Darnell, it's been a pleasure, and I wish you all the best in your author journey ahead.
Thank you so much, and you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how to get your book published with a proven system that works, grab a free copy of my book at getpublishedpodcast.com.